One of the most shocking twists in the Space Wolves lore is the existence of the Wulfen, mutated space wolves who have succumbed to the Canis Helix, transforming into lupine beasts. Rather than purge them, the chapter secretly reveres these monstrosities, hiding them within the Eye of Terror until the 13th Black Crusade, when they re-emerged to tear chaos apart. Even more bizarre is that the Wulfen are from the 13th Company, thought lost for 10,000 years, yet they returned unchanged, as if no time had passed. This temporal anomaly, paired with their savage resurrection, has sparked fear and reverence alike across the Imperium, reinforcing the Space Wolves' reputation as both protectors and unpredictable ancient terrors. One night, Leman Russ raised his drinking horn, toasted his warriors, and walked into legend, never to return. The Primarch of the Space Wolves vanished during a feast, declaring only that he was embarking on a final quest and would return during the Wolf Time, a future age of apocalypse. No one knows where he went or why, but some believe he hunts chaos in the Eye of Terror, waging a solitary war against the ruinous powers. Others whisper that he seeks a cure for the Canis Helix or the return of the Emperor. The mystery fuels centuries of speculation, pilgrimage, and prophecy. His empty throne, kept ready in the Fang, remains untouched, a chilling reminder of a leader who may one day come back if the galaxy descends into its darkest hour. To the Wolves, he is not gone, only waiting. Within the gene seed of the Space Wolves lies a beast, literally. Known as the Canis Helix, this unique genetic modification grants heightened senses, strengths, and reflexes, but it comes with a savage cost. In some warriors, it awakens a horrifying mutation, a regression into lupine monstrosities called the Wulfen. Clawed, howling, and barely sentient, these fallen brothers are often considered lost. Yet, shockingly, the chapter does not always destroy them. In secret, some are hidden, even revered, their existence cloaked in myth. The Space Wolves claim these creatures are the embodiment of their inner struggle, the beast versus the man, but others see it as a corruption too close to chaos. The Imperium calls it a flaw, the Wolves call it destiny. This savage secret walks a razor-thin line between honor and heresy, and the Inquisition is always watching. The burning of Prospero marks one of the most infamous acts in Space Wolves history. Tasked by the Emperor to bring the sorcerer's 1,000 sons to heel, Leman Russ unleashed his legion with unrelenting fury. What began as a censure became massacre, as psychic fire met fang and claw in planet-wide slaughter. The Space Wolves didn't just defeat the 1,000 Sons, they razed their homeworld, reducing cities of knowledge and artistry to rubble. What's more shocking is the betrayal at the heart of it. Horus, already corrupted, twisted Russ's orders to ignite a war between brothers. To this day, the Wolves carry the burden of that campaign, both proud of their duty and haunted by its devastation. Prospero burned not just from war, but from manipulated hatred between those meant to stand united. After being gone for 10,000 years, the Space Wolves returned during the galaxy's darkest hour, unchanged and more beast than man. Thought lost during the Horus Heresy, they had pursued Chaos forces into the Eye of Terror, never to be seen again. Then, during the 13th Black Crusade, they re-emerged, feral and warped, leading brutal strikes against the forces of Abaddon. Somehow, they had survived for millennia without aging, their bodies twisted by the warp, yet still loyal to the Emperor. Their leader, Crom Dragongaze, remains a mystery cloaked in fangs and fury. That they still identify as Space Wolves despite their horrific appearance is both awe-inspiring and terrifying. To the Imperium, they are a living contradiction, beasts of nightmare that fight for humanity. To the Wolves, they are brothers returned from hell. There is a warrior still walking the battlefield that's so ancient he fought beside the Emperor. Bjorn the Fell-Handed, once a revered Great Wolf, was grievously wounded and interred in a dreadnought during the early days of the Imperium. 10,000 years later, he still awakens for most dire of wars. Clad in adamantium and armed with a massive power claw and plasma cannon, Bjorn is a living relic, his mind sharp with fury and myth. Between battles, he is entombed in the Fang, consulted like a holy oracle by the chapter's leaders. He's the last known space marine to have seen Leman Russ in the flesh, and his tales are treated with almost religious reverence. Yet his long years weigh heavy, his loyalty unwavering, but his mind fraying at the edges of time and sorrow. Before becoming Astartes, all Space Wolves must first survive the crucible of Fenris, a death world of volcanic winters, monstrous beasts, and constant tribal warfare. On this icy, ocean-split planet, life is a relentless battle for survival. Children are raised in warrior clans, hunting ice serpents and fending off rival tribes with axes and tooth-and-nail savagery. Those who show potential are selected during the trial of Morkai, a brutal rite that often kills more than it elevates. This harsh upbringing breeds warriors of unmatched ferocity and resilience, but it also imprints a deep sense of brotherhood and loyalty. Unlike other chapters, the Space Wolves retain their tribal customs even after becoming Space Marines. Drinking contests, sagas, tattoos, and a reverence for ancestral spirits. To outsiders, they seem wild, even heretical, but on Fenris, civilization is forged in blood and fire.
Logan Grimnar, the Great Wolf, is more than just a chapter master. He's a living legend, revered as the reincarnation of Leman Russ's indomitable spirit. Clad in the ancient Terminator armor of the Wolf King, and wielding the massive axe, Morkai, Grimnar leads his warriors with a blend of wisdom, brutality, and unshakable resolve. But his most mythic act may be the calling of the Great Hunt, a sacred and somber campaign where the entire chapter scours the stars in search of the lost relics, ancient enemies, or signs of their Primarch's return. Each hunt is a massive undertaking with no guarantee of return. Some view it as divine purpose, others as madness, yet to Grimnar, it's duty, honouring prophecy and preserving the soul of the chapter. In a galaxy of cold logic, Logan stands as a defiant symbol of faith and fury. When Rabute Guilliman penned the Codex Astartes to restructure Space Marine chapters after the heresy, the Space Wolves responded with a firm and growled no. They refused to break into smaller chapters, maintaining their structure, customs, and command hierarchy. To them, the Codex was a cage, ill-suited for the wild, tribal nature of their brotherhood. They kept their great companies, their unique war gear, and even their oral traditions, which flew in the face of standard Imperial doctrine. Guilliman tolerated it, barely, believing the Wolves would fracture or implode. Instead, they thrived. Their defiance became a defining trait, making them both admired and mistrusted by the chapters. Many see the Wolves as dangerously independent, even bordering on heretical, but the Sons of Russ, conformity as weakness. They serve the Emperor in their own way, loyal, bloody, and unapologetically free. The Space Wolves are loyal to the Emperor, but not always to the Imperium. Nowhere is this more evident than in their open defiance of the Inquisition, most infamously during the First War of Armageddon. After the battle, the Inquisition ordered a mass purge of Imperial guardsmen who had fought alongside the Grey Knights and witnessed demonic foes. When the Wolves refused to stand by while loyal soldiers were slaughtered, they clashed violently with the Inquisition's forces. It escalated into near civil war, Space Marines against the Emperor's own shadowy enforcers. The scars from that standoff still linger, with mutual distrust simmering beneath the surface. The Wolves see themselves as guardians of humanity's soul, not blind tools of bureaucracy. To them, honour and oaths matter more than obedience. When the Imperium forgets that, the fangs come out, and not even the Inquisition is safe.